Peace. What up? What up? What up, everybody? It's Ivy here with Natural Holistic Vibes Podcast. Checking in with you guys for another amazing week. Okay. Another amazing week. We already halfway through. Well, we at Wednesday, y'all. So we got some stuff to chat about. For real. And if this is your first time tuning in with me, welcome to the show. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you for checking me out. Y'all, this is a sidebar. We got to make sure that these babies and these young ones out here are protected, because it is some ignorant ass people out here, and we got to make sure if they're in your neighborhood or in your part of the community and your part of the neighborhood, that you're watching out for them just like you watch out for your own damn children. Okay, we're gonna have to incorporate some old school values and shit going, like coming online. And what made me say that, this little car almost his children out here playing ball, and this car like bullying them out of the damn street. Just weird as hell. Okay, you're a fucking adult. Chill your ass out. Anywho, so that's my little sidebar for this year. Shit. Well, I lie. It's a sidebar for now. But anyway, we're gonna get into it, y'all. This is not gonna be no long one this week. Reason being is, one, I'm going spirit led. So if I have more to say, I shall. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty much of a chatty patty, so I have no problem with getting out and saying it if I need to. If it's something coming online, but I just have a really quick message for us to kind of lock in on this next week, for the rest of this week rather. And throughout the month of July, especially during Cancer season. When we're in Cancer season, Cancer deals with the mother, deals with, and the mother meaning like Big Mama, the mothering energy. It deals with family, which is why around this time of the year, most people are traveling, visiting, family reunions, gatherings, get-togethers, blah, 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 right? Etc. All awesome ass shit. Real cool shit, because we're all coming together, communing as one. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating each other. Hopefully that's what you're doing when y'all are coming together with your loved ones and your favorite people. That you're doing it in a space where you can celebrate each other and really appreciate them being a part of your story, right? Being a part of your life. So yeah, that's what we're gonna tune in today. I know last week the message was learning to love on yourself through movement, and I broke that down. That's pretty much where we're just getting off our asses and getting out here and doing what we need to do to make sure that we're in optimal health. Now, again, if this your first time tuning in, I appreciate you for stopping through. I appreciate you for locking in with your girl, Real Shit. Just to kind of catch you up, this podcast is dedicated for Gen X and millennials. Okay? And the reason being, one, I'm Gen X. Two, all my siblings are millennials except one. I think she's a millennial. If she's not millennial, she's the very, very top of Gen Z. But I think she may be the bottom of millennial. But don't quote me. But what I noticed was patterns. First of all, we all come up the same. We all come up together. And so I started seeing patterns. And so while I'm here, we in this thing together, y'all. We gonna help each other. You know what I'm saying? So this is just one small piece of my contribution to the big story, right? For us coming together as one unit and really making some real changes. Okay, so anyway, this week we're gonna the topic is, or the focus rather, the focus is going to be on learning how to listen, right? Now y'all talking to a chatty patty, okay? So you would think that as much as I talk, I don't listen just as much, right? And so I'll say this, over the years, especially since coming to this space of awareness, is I actually learned how to listen. And the reason being is because if you see my star system, trust me, you'll understand why, right? for those people out there who are, in astrology and whatnot, like if you see my star system, then you'll understand. Like for me, it's about the details. So it kind of forces me to listen, and it's just my nature. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of forces me to listen because I want to catch all the details. There may be a detail that may be needed, or that one detail that I didn't catch may be the detail that I needed for whatever it is I'm doing, right? So for me, listening is just as important as talking, okay? And so we're in a society where we've been conditioned to talk more than we're listening. We've been taught to hear people, right? I hear what you're saying. I heard you. But we haven't been conditioned or trained to listen to others, to listen to each other intensely, consciously, full awareness, listening to the other person, and so, or the people. And the reason why this is so important is because the people that are around you are, let me make sure I word this right? We're Mercury and Gemini, which has been quite interesting, by the way. Let me see. Trying to see how to word it. So it's kind of like, let's start here. So it's kind of like the people that you're around the most, right? These people see you. They know you at the capacity of what you're expressing and you show yourself, right? They understand you from that capacity. So, and depending on who it is, some may be even a little bit more tuned in, and they actually picking up on your damn frequency. Like they could pick up on your aura, right? So it really just depends. But what I will say is that your the people that are close to you are meant to help you with your changes. So these are the people that they gonna point shit out that you are overlooking. They're gonna point shit out that you don't want to see or accept about yourself. They gonna point shit out. Right? So if they're pointing out shit, that doesn't equate arguing. That doesn't equate let me debate this person to defend the thing that they're calling out. This is where you have to listen. And the person's gonna tell you on fucking repeat, because it'll come out in different ways in what it is that you're doing, right? And the reason why they're repeating this to you, because you didn't listen to them the first time. I heard what you said. No shit. I can tell you heard, because you heard half the information. So this is where I started actually practicing, not so much as practicing, but more so observing the moments when I'm actually listening, to the other person versus me just hearing them. And over time, even still now, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be quite honest, if it's depending on the conversation, I may be in hearing mode, right? If it's something that we've heavily talked about, and this doesn't matter what it is, right? Doesn't matter. It could be something serious or not. I'm in hearing mode. Why? Because for me, the information's already been presented. So unless there's something new, please lead off with that shit, because I'm telling you now, until I get myself together, y'all. But the point that I'm making is to be more locked in with listening to the people around you, learning how to listen more. And you can practice listening, but let's say I'm a huge fan of grounding. And so for me, every day I get outside, I put my feet in the ground. Okay. Since I've been doing that, I've really trained myself to disconnect from the outside, the outside, blah, 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 outside. Hey, white butterfly. Hey, Prezzo. That just distracted me, you guys. They just missed something. Okay. And so yeah. So anyway, I'll wrap back. But so yeah. So I've been pretty much paying attention to when I'm listening and when I'm hearing. And the moments when I'm listening, right, I literally can repeat and regurgitate back to you word for word, verbatim, tone, action, what you were doing, what you was looking, all of that. What you had on, if you took a sip before you did it. Those are details that lock for me, right? And so that tells me that I'm actively listening to the other person because I'm tuned in to the conversation, right? But if I'm not tuned in and I'm just hearing, then I'm catching bits and pieces. It's those moments where you repeat to somebody something that they said, or you try to repeat to them what they said and it was nowhere near what they said, right? Or it was a little bit what they said but wrong context, right? Or the right words out of order, or not even the right words, right? So this is where it's going to be very important, especially you guys, again, Cancer, family, boom, okay? And that's not even talking about the other energies that are impacting, that are affecting us right now. Right now, I'm just want to focus on actively listening to other people around you during this Cancer energy. Doing it, especially while you're around your family and friends and hanging out for the holidays and stuff. And the reason being is because you don't know what kind of gems you're going to pick up. You don't, and I mean, from either capacity, you don't know what information is going to be given to you to actually help you grow and expand. You know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of people meeting up with family. This is the first time for a lot of y'all. Some of y'all ain't never met family. Some of y'all haven't gotten together in, 5+ years. And so this is all new territory. In that excitement, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be eager to talk. Everybody's going to be eager to say what they got to say. Good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter if you're in a high vibing conversation or if you're in what we call a low vibing conversation, right? It doesn't matter. In either capacity, is very important. It's very important that you it's very important that you are actively listening to the other person. Also, especially if you're in relationships, you definitely want to make sure, I ain't gonna even say that. All ships are relationships, y'all. So actively listen to whoever the fuck's talking to you. And if you don't want to hear it, simply just tell them you don't want to hear it. We've got to get better about our communication because we're not communicating at our optimal level. We're not communicating at our optimal level. So what does that mean? That means that we're communicating and the emotions are not getting in the way of the communication itself. Hence, active listening. When you're actively listening, you'll know that you're actively listening because you're not allowing the emotions to interfere with the message, right? I guess that's how I want to word. You're not allowing the emotions to interfere with the message, which that's very possible. If you allow your emotions to interfere with the message, it distorts the message. And all of this has to do with the frequency that you're resonating in whenever you're having conversations. So it doesn't matter. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying, be in a high vibration every time you're having a conversation with somebody because that's not being genuine or authentic. What you do want to do is when you're in a active conversation with someone, and let's say, at first conversation is good and then it turns, right? And let's say you guys are needing to address something very important. It's very important for you guys to address. And so that's why you're having a conversation. This is where it's very key and paramount that you're listening, actively listening to the other person, and making sure that they're respecting your boundaries and actively listening to you as well. Because it's not fair if it's just a one-sided road. And most people are very great at wanting to be heard but not listen to the other person. And this doesn't serve any ship. I don't care if it's a work relationship, if it's a marriage, if y'all just dating, if y'all siblings, parent, child, it doesn't matter, the ship. Because communication is important in all the ships. What matters is how you guys are communicating with each other. Is there respect there for each person enough to where we can not cut each other off and literally listen to what the other person has to say? Are the boundaries clear and set enough to where when we're having these conversations, we're staying within the scope of the conversation itself? Like, we're not going outside of that emotionally or physically. That means don't take the shit outside of where it is. If we talking about hot dogs and we arguing about who ate the last fucking hot dog, what are we talking about ribs for? The fuck? It doesn't make sense, right? So just one of the important things is to keep the details into perspective. This is the reason why what I would suggest, my advisement would be, especially if you have a Virgo energy, because the Virgo energy, I'm gonna say if everybody has this energy, right? It's literally where it's expressed in your star system. So see where that Virgo energy is in your star system. That will actually help you pinpoint and show you where you're actually doing some of this at already, right? If you know any Sun Virgos, and anybody that knows any Sun Virgos, we all know how they are. Very meticulous with details, right? Almost down to a perfectionist level, and some are extreme or perfectionist, and so and very analytical. In order for you to be analytical, you have to catch details. You have to be very detail oriented. And so see where the energy resides in your star system so that you can start, utilizing it to your benefit and tapping into being more of an active listener to others, even to yourself. And this really kind of is the serving thing, right? So when you're saying mantras, affirmations, prayers, and all that stuff, right? The initial conversation that is being had from the view and the tone of you, okay? And so my question I would ask anybody is, do you actively listen to your own thoughts? Like when you're especially when they're all over the place, are you actively paying attention to the thoughts that are crossing your mind as to create some type of solution around it? Maybe there needs to be a tighter boundary. Maybe there needs to be something said. Maybe there needs to be something done. Not said. Doesn't matter, right? So this is where we're all having to learn how to learn how to tap into these energies internally and within, so that we can manipulate them to our benefit. We have the power and capacity to do so, and we're already doing it. Most of us are doing it unconsciously is the problem. So you think that you can't, or that you're not capable, or that's not what you study or practice, but you're already doing it. It doesn't matter your background when it comes to that. You're already doing that stuff. So, be very mindful, be very and I don't mean mindful like pay attention to your words, is to keep down, or to keep certain energies into a specific perspective. You don't want to create a situation out of something simply because you weren't actively listening. Meaning, 4 years go by, somebody's been saying the same shit to you for 4 years, different words. Y'all literally had deep conversations. Y'all both trying to figure it out, trying to understand each other, trying to get on the same wavelength, only to be coming back to the same conversation again, right? Somebody in there is not actively listening. Here's the main thing. I think I'm going to actually it ain't no think. I'm going to do an episode on acceptance, because that shit there is, man, y'all want to talk about demons. That's a fucking demon. Oh, you need me break it down, boo? Let me break this down to you how that's a fucking demon. Let me break this down to you. The fact that you, if any, this goes to anybody out there. Trust, if I offend you, great. If I've triggered you, awesome. Welcome. Welcome to the club. Let's get to work. So I'm finna tell you your next step, especially if you triggered, okay? But acceptance is a huge thing that is holding back a lot of people. This doesn't go to a specific gender or a specific race, culture, or specific zodiac sign. Fuck that. That's across the board. I'm literally seeing how that's affecting people across the board. Not accepting the truth. Okay? We're in the world of illusion, you guys. We're in an illusion. This shit is not reality. It's not real. It's a video game. Right now, I'm playing podcast host. What? If you go to work, if any of y'all listening have a job, you go to work to play said position. That's a character. Before you had that job, you was none of that. Let's say you are a manager of an office. It could be just a regular office, just regular manager office shit, right? Before you had that management position, what was your title? Or what title were you going by, right? Probably wasn't manager. So now you've adopted a new character in the game. I highly, even if you don't play, y'all, at least check it out, okay? And I know I'm tardy to the party because I never played this game as a teenager. I heard about it when I was a teenager. It was a teenager when I came out. Well, it was a teenager when we were teenagers when the game came out. And right now, like for me, I personally wouldn't recommend it to children just because of the language and the graphics, and there's so many fucking symbologies in there, like real shit. It is like ciphering a fucking movie or ciphering what's outside. So I would, if you're gonna let your children play this game, I would do it with some reservation. But that is GTA, y'all. I should have said it first. GTA. Okay, so me, my husband, and my brother-in-law, we all played that game back in 2021. I think we bought it like the end of 2020. We all started playing big time 2021. Like we for real spent 2021. My husband and I, for us, we were studying the game, and then just because we knew technology was going a different way, the world was shut down, so what's next? That's what we picked up, gaming. So we started studying the game. Just real quick, when I tell y'all, if you've never played or seen anybody play, first of all, to see somebody play versus playing, it gives you two different totally experiences. Let me get you off the top with that one. But the number two thing is, if you ever get a chance to play, you should. Because then you'll be able to see how it's no different than out here. And the reason why I picked that game specifically is because you can play NBA 2K, right? Or what is it? Don't judge me, y'all. I don't be keeping up with this shit. But y'all can play the sports games and any other games, right? Hitman is one of those games that I actually like that, watching my husband play that game. And so, but with GTA, to me, it just, and others, it just seemed like it mimicked too much of what's outside. Like there's sidewalks, the streets fucked up, like streets fucked up now. In the wintertime when it was snowing outside, it was snowing on the motherfucking game where I was at, bitch. I'm trying to make it make sense. So from there I said we have to be in a simulation, and because, you know, me slapping my arm feels real to me because there's a sting there. My brain receptors are saying that this is not a reality. This is not an illusion, that this is real. But that's because the emotional body is perceiving it to be real. You see? So we're going to have to put on our grown-up adult clothes, y'all. Adult drawers and shit. We've been in the background way too fucking long at this point in this game. And we took shit in the first half of our life, a lot of us, in this game. And we didn't know it was a game, but y'all, we know it's a game now, so we really get to shine. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm at with it. I'm about, I really want to help enlighten and help bring out the shine in my peers, which are Gen X and millennials. So, and the reason why I include millennials, I know you got all these fucking generational groups out here and shit. Let me tell y'all something. I don't subscribe to, believe in, rock with, lean with, step with, none of that separation shit. Anything that's promoting division, I'm not for that. I'm about inclusion and togetherness and you being united. And so if any of you have paid attention to any of my my hashtags, one of the hashtags I have is called Generations United, because really at the scheme of it, Gen X and millennials, we're like generationally, like, I know there's a lot of differences, but I mean, for the most part, we was in the trenches together. So what the fuck? We were literally in the trenches together. And so because we were in the trenches together, you know, it's time for us to heal those wounds and shit that we experienced. It's time for us to glow up, light up, show up, not only for ourselves, but for our communities and for our families and for our communities. And I don't want to hear that shit about your family this and your family that and community. Fuck that. If you can find energy and breath in your fucking body to bitch and complain about what isn't, then you can do the same to build. Okay, that's where I'm at. Build or don't talk at all. Because we're in the space of building. If you can't see a way to build, then don't say nothing. This where it goes back to the actively listening and learning how to listen more than you talk. Because if you're always fucking talking, even in your fucking head, okay, don't get it twisted. Just because people don't hear your voice don't mean you not still talking. Okay? So even if you're still talking, it don't matter. Learn the power of silence. And I'll say this, and this isn't to say that if you're meditating, you never have chatter. Okay? I want to make sure I put that up front. But you definitely should be meditating, because that definitely helps reduce the chatter and then eventually clear that chatter out. Why? Because it's all energy on loop. It literally has nowhere to go. You haven't participated in it. You haven't done anything with it. It has nowhere to go, so it's sitting in the thought waiting to be activated by action. And so if you don't put fire behind it, some form of action behind it, it's going to stay a thought. It's going to stay in that air energy. So be more intentful with your listening. Especially when you're around others, you know, give people the common courtesy to let them finish their fucking thought out. And I'm guilty of this, y'all, so don't get it twisted, okay? But I do that. I cut people off and I'm working. Then I get mad when people cut me the fuck off. But I only get mad, real shit, when when we're in a serious dialogue. If we're just in a social space, I don't, because I understand in that moment that we're just excited. But if I'm going toe to toe with somebody, then yeah, at that point I don't give a fuck about the cutting off part, because we're not in a social environment, and now we're not trying to hear each other. And this is when I have to do my work, right? Because of what I just say, I don't give a fuck, but I need to give a fuck. Why? Because if I want that person to be in a ship with that person, and I want that person to hear me and listen to what I'm saying, hear and listen, right? You're hearing the frequency and you're listening, and we're vibing together, then I should give a shit. Right? And we got that bad where we don't give a fuck. Quit fucking lying to y'all self. You do care, okay? It's things you give a fuck about. It's okay to not give a fuck about shit, but don't say that you don't give a fuck about shit you actually care about. Okay? So this is just a live example of what I'm meaning by, being mindful with the words, paying attention to the words, either whether it's outside of your head or it's in your head. It doesn't matter. It still carries energy. It carries energy from the moment of thought. So just to keep that in mind, you want your ships to work, then, and don't set such ridiculous fucking expectations on others. Allow them to come to that space on their own. If they ain't ready to listen to you, don't fucking force them to listen to you. The fuck? Do y'all know how fucking torturous that is? To literally sit somewhere and hear some shit you don't fucking want to hear? So again, that's a boundary issue and a listening issue, because I'm pretty sure that person said something verbal, non-verbal, in some form that told you they didn't want to hear that shit. Be out of your fucking arrogance, you got to prove who right. So you're gonna force the conversation on them. You're gonna force certain things up on them. Stop doing that shit, y'all. Stop it. It's weird. Just stop it. Okay? In order for us to heal as a collective, you can only be focused on one person. That's you. Numero uno. Nobody else. You can't fucking change nobody. And I don't give a shit if y'all got 12 children. I guarantee you can't change them 12 kids. I put my life on it. That's how confident I am in what I'm saying. Why? Because I know that you might get that child to temporarily move a certain fucking way. But trust and believe, the moment that they come to the awareness of their own, the moment that they step into their own shoes, you no longer have that control, that power over them. So just stop. And allow people to be who the fuck they are. And allow people to be who they are. Some people move faster than others, okay? That person, let's say you're in a relationship, okay? Because I don't really hear people talking about this kind of stuff. But let's say you're in a relationship and one person is the listener and one person is the talker. Like real shit. You guys have to come up with some kind of meeting of the minds. What does that mean? That means y'all got to get together and create a healthy, safe way to be able to communicate with each other. Otherwise, it's not going to work, because the communication's going to be off in some capacity. How you know? Both parties going to feel some kind of way, emotional body, and then they're going to be expressing from that their point of view, which I'm willing to bet 9 times out of 10 don't have shit to do with the core root issue of why you guys can't effectively communicate. Okay? So this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Again, with the Cancer energy being in the family, Cancer, like I said, represents family, the mother lineage, big mama, nurturing, stuff like that. So we want to make sure that we're fine-tuning those frequencies within us, right? Fine-tuning those frequencies so that we're showing up as the highest version of ourselves. So, which is, I'm not going to say that's the goal, right? Because for me, it's for my heart to be lighter than a feather. So everybody goals are different. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's kind of that's just where we are for this week, you guys. Again, learning how to actively listen to each other. Take this time and this energy to really do that. And I would suggest you starting with yourself first. Start with your thoughts. What kind of thoughts do you have? Listen to your thoughts. Pay attention to your thoughts and then go from there. You know, like, don't try to change other person. Don't try to listen to be actively listening to others just to try to change something, right? You learn something and you want to go out there and show. No. Literally actively listen to the person the next time you guys get into a disagreement, and you tell me what the difference is between you guys' conversation versus a conversation where you're not listening to each other. I literally would love to hear it. And if you have any other if you have any solutions or anything to add, please make sure you guys leave me a comment or review. You know what I'm saying? Check out my social media pages. I'm at Natural Holistic Vibes. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Those are where most of my media stuff's gonna be. I do post on Pinterest occasionally, but y'all know how that is. But the first three, definitely. I do actually have a live event that I'm going to be doing on July the 8th. So hopefully you guys check me out there. It's not going to be on my podcast channel. It's going to be on my main channel, which is at Natural Holistic Vibes. So make sure to get locked in with me over there. Make sure to to turn on your post notifications. I will send out a reminder to anybody who is, locked in and ready to listen. Locked in on the live event. But this live event is going to be just some short readings. It's just going to be current energy readings. And so, with the current energy readings, I'll oh, y'all, I thought I had lost my audio. Woo! Okay, I have. So anyway, with my live event, I'm going to be going live on Facebook on July the 8th at 2 p.m., which is next Monday. So make sure you guys tune in with me. Check in with me, get your questions answered, get you some clarity. So I will be doing yes or no questions for free. If you have like a one question with clarity, that's gonna run $10. But just come check me out over there. I have some other different readings I'm gonna be doing as well, just to kind of like I said, I'm here to work. I'm ready to work. And so anybody that's ready to work and really truly wants to empower themselves, know who they are, know how you tweak, how you work, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your modality? Why you here? What you come here for? Are you doing what you came here for? Are you in the right ships? How are your ships affecting your life? All of that kind of stuff. So those are more deeper readings, which I do offer those what I call astrology sessions. And so I have a mini session, a full session. Both do come with a full payment option or a payment plan option. So make sure you guys check me out on my website, naturalisticvibes.com, or you can click the link in the description. Or again, if you go to all of my social media pages, it will be there as well. So I try to make it to where y'all don't have to go hunt for this stuff. So it'll be in the description box or in the description. Excuse me. Yeah, and then to, stay tuned with me on my podcast. Make sure you guys are connected with me at NHV Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Again, y'all leave me your comments, send me a DM if you got questions. Hit me up at any way. Email me if you got questions. If you need to know something, need some assistance with something, leave a comment, leave a review. Just make sure that you're connected. And this is if you feel led to, right? If you feel led to fuck with me, then let's do it, baby. We here. You know what I'm saying? We here. We gonna have fun with it, though. So, yeah, it's been love. I know this was about, what we're looking at, about 40 minutes, probably about 41, 42 minutes by the time I'm done. And I do apologize for its lengthiness. It wasn't supposed to be this long, but thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Enjoy your holy days. You know what I'm saying? Use the energy to your best benefit. I will always advocate for that on any holy day that is celebrated here in this country. And yeah, so yeah, go out there and enjoy, you guys. Enjoy yourself, have fun, enjoy this week. We 2 weeks into the summer. Shh. Let's enjoy it, okay? It has been love. It's been real. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for believing in me. Thanks for supporting me thus far. Please feel free to share. Please share. Please share it. Others need to know this stuff. Others need to hear this. And if anybody's inspired to start a podcast, let me know. Let me know if you're inspired to start a podcast. Why? Because we're all out here. We all have something to offer. And with all the pieces coming together, it makes the whole puzzle. And here's the beautiful part. You ain't got to know all the pieces. All the pieces just need to fall out. All the pieces just need to be available on the board. Okay? So, yeah, just hit me up. It's been love talking to you guys. It's been real, like for real. I really am enjoying this. So I want to do the same for you guys. I want to help you find that thing that you're passionate about, that you enjoy doing, and that you love doing. And it's no matter what the fuck going on in the world, you be like, oh, okay, I'm finna go do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of move like that. So, yeah, fuck with your girl. Stick with me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys get connected. Again, don't forget, I'm going live next Monday, July the 2nd 7th, 8th. Shit, my bad. July the 8th at 2 p.m. on Facebook. So make sure that you're connected with me on there. Yeah. Peace, you guys. Peace, peace, peace.